This is St Mary's Church in Great Canfield, right in the heart of rural Essex, quite near to Stansted Airport. It's a locked church, so I'm just waiting for the church warden to turn up and let me in for a look around. But So from what I've read, this actually changed name at one stage.
Yes, I should tell you about that
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, well, more than once.
and that was during the Reformation.
It was towards the back end of the 19th century. It changed name, but it had a name back at the Reformation. But when that was changed, I don't know. I can't even remember what it was. I don't even know if I know what it was called at that time, because it was a Catholic church then, obviously.
Yeah.
Until Henry VIII. But that's a bit of a story as well. Right. That little blighter apparently is a chap called Odin. I'll take my thumb out of the way. You don't really want that.
Go on, you're right.
Odin was a Norse god.
Yep.
And what I can't remember is the name of the two ravens, one either side.
Hugin and Munin.
Well done.
But shouldn't Odin have one eye?
I don't know. Well, that one is very different to that one.
Yeah. Because I did read when I was looking online, some were saying that it was God and they were the two doves, but they're certainly not doves.
They're not doves.
No, they're ravens.
They're ravens.
They're ravens.
Or something like that. And so you know the story of what the ravens did.
Yeah.
They used to fly around the world and then go back and tell Odin what was going on, and if it was a threat to him, he used to dispatch someone to get rid of the threat. Anyway. Sounds a bit like Putin, doesn't it?
So the file fots they're obviously for luck.
Yeah, well, yes, they're a symbol of peace and harmony, a medieval symbol. I believe that they're actually...
Would they have been put later though? Because bear in mind, Odin was a warrior god.
Yes.
So that seems a bit contradictory to...
Oh, it does, yes, yeah. But after the Second World War, a lot of the locals apparently were up in arms over that because they thought they were swastikas.
Yeah.
And I think the Farfots go the other way round, don't they? They're the reverse to the swastika, I think. Yeah,
generally, but not all the time. Because you've got them around Chelmsford Town Hall.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, the top of Chelmsford Town Hall. They're around there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So how old is this?
What, the church?
No, the actual stonework here.
Well, I'm assuming it's original to the church, and that would have been 12th century.
12th century?
Yeah.
So it's 1,000 years old then?
Yeah. 1150 the church was built around 1150.
So originally, what was there a pagan temple here?
There's no evidence of it.
Yeah.
But it's believed that there was, because we've got Great Canfield Castle just over the other side there. It's not a castle, it's a mound.
Right.
There's no evidence of there ever being a settlement there, but the belief is, the story goes, that there was a Saxon settlement over there on top of the mound.
Right.
And the river Roding that runs past here was diverted round it to form the moat.
Oh, okay.
And a bit of the river Roding flows across the back there, and then it goes off round there and round there. It doesn't actually go round the moat anymore.
So on the flip side here,
I have no idea what that is. Whether or not that's Odin's uncle, I have no idea.
See, that looks to me like a dragon. Is that
the bit, that bit?
Yeah.
But that's definitely a face, isn't it?
Yeah, but that bit there, that looks like a dragon's head. You see what I mean?
Oh yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah. I have no knowledge of that at all. It's funny that whenever I show,
face, isn't it? Yeah.
Often I show people and I learn from them.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, enter.
There's some lovely work gone into that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Them eaves up there.
It is wonderful. That, like an oriel window, that round thing, no one's actually sure why it's there. Sometimes that was done for acoustic reasons, but it's too high.
It's not for letting light in either, is it?
And it's not, no, that's, they're often...
Or is it?
They're normally smaller than that. They do appear in other churches.
Yeah.
And quite rightly, it was to allow light coming from the chancel into the nave. But that doesn't fit any of the purposes that anyone can tell me about. And I've spoken to a few people, ecclesiastical people, as well as people who visit. No one's really sure why it's up there. Where is it? It's under the shadow. William Wiseman, that's it. That's William Wiseman and his wife. That goes back to 1662 or thereabouts. So therefore, the story I say is they've been holding hands for over 400 years.
Yeah.
So it might last.
Yeah, there's a chance. He ain't lost his hair either.
No, it's almost difficult to tell which is which, apart from the one that's got armour on, the other one hasn't. But it's a decent sized memorial, isn't it?
So they're the Wisemans.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the second family.
The first were the De Veres.
The first were the De Veres. I've not come across any memorials.
So what were the De Veres famous for? I know the name.
Oh, crikey.
I'll have to do a bit of research on that later.
I can't remember. I know there was a television programme where one of the characters was a De Vere, and he owned a chain of grocer's shops.
There's Cruella de Vil.
Slightly different.
Yeah.
Peter de Vil is the organ maintenance man. It's spelled D-E space V-I-L-E, as in vile, but obviously he doesn't use that name.
That's something else, that organ there, isn't it?
It's not that old. Well, it depends on what you mean by old. It's nearly 100 years old. It's on the top of here, 1888. Yes. So that was fitted as part of the restoration that was carried out to St Mary's in 1882 to 1888 by the Victorians. So most of the fittings that you see are Victorian.
Right.
The pews are all Victorian, the font is Victorian, the pulpit is Victorian, and the bit behind the altar's Victorian, and the original altar was Victorian.
So is there bats up there now? There would be, wouldn't there?
Yes.
I
I'm not
suppose-
allowed to go and find out because they're a protected species.
Yeah.
And that is what is the, what do they call it? USP, ultimate selling point. And that fresco was painted in the 13th century, roughly 100 years after the church was built. Don't know who painted it. I wasn't here at the time, so I can't tell you.
So, and that was covered up, was it, already?
Yes, what happened was during the Reformation, or probably, during the Reformation, That was whitewashed over. The locals whitewashed it over so that Henry VIII's little parishioners didn't come and wreck it.
Right.
It stayed like that until the Victorian restoration in 1880s. In the 1880s.
So they uncovered it just by chance, did they?
Yeah. Well, what happened was that memorial. I said there's a bit more of a story behind that memorial we were just looking at. That memorial was placed over it, over the altar.
Right.
In the 1880s, the then vicar thought that wasn't really appropriate. So they took it down, put it over there, saw that the whitewash was peeling and there was some colour behind it, cleaned it off, bingo. At the time that they discovered that, this church was dedicated to St. Peter. This was St. Peter's. When they saw the Virgin and Child, they decided that it would be better that if it was dedicated to St. Mary. So they applied to the Bishop of Rochester, because this was in the Diocese of Rochester at the time. They applied to the Bishop of Rochester and it was rededicated to St. Mary with St. Peter. Sometime between then and now, St. Mary and St. Peter must have had some kind of falling out, and she must have kicked him out because it's now only St. Mary's. But when that happened and how that happened, it's possibly just progressed over the years and probably never changed, but it's now dedicated to St. Mary's.
So what are we looking at for that fresco? 1,000 years old?
Yeah, it's roughly 1250.
And that still was clear. That still was clear as a bell, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredible.
There's one or two patch marks on it, as you can see. There's a couple of areas where the plaster appears to have been repaired, but the history of that I don't know.
So what is these carvings on?
Well, some of them are deliberate, original. I don't know where they come from. You can have a guidebook and it may say in there, but I can't remember where they come from. But some of it obviously is graffiti, ancient graffiti. All of this stuff is was probably done by choir boys, because these are the choir stalls. I need to walk this way, but you'll probably get arrested. Up there, that one and that one are the Saxon gravestones. And the mirror is designed for you to see, because other than that, you need a very big ladder, and I haven't got one. Well, I have, if you want one.
So what actually is up there then?
There are two Saxon tombstone slabs, one there and one there. It's actually one, but it was.
So why essentially are they hidden up there?
They're not actually hidden. I think what happened was they were found when this place was built and just recycled.
Okay.
That's the only reason I can think of why they would be up there.
Yeah, because you wouldn't even know otherwise, would you?
No, you wouldn't know.
So where would they have come from? Any idea?
Well, presumably they were probably found when the church was being constructed. They probably just found them in the ground. Which is possibly evidence that there was something here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Previously.
Yeah.
But there's no proof of that. It's just a surmise, if you like, if that's the right word. Something else that, while you're standing here, graffiti or deliberately done, I don't know. I'm guessing graffiti, but it's obviously a shield. What's the word I'm looking for? See, the brain's gone again.
What do you think that'd be? A choir boy again? It's probably a bit high up for a choir boy.
It is, yes. I don't know. And
It's only a shield, isn't it?
yeah, it's definitely a shield. Apparently, the chances are the walls of this church were originally pink. Apparently, was quite common back in the day. And you've got a burial helmet.
Yeah, I did notice that earlier.
Yeah, it's not a proper helmet that went with a suit of armour. Because apparently I haven't been up there to check. I really must get my wife up there to dust it. I'll say you suggested it. That helmet is so thin that if you poked it with a ballpoint pen, you'd probably kill the bloke who was wearing it. But it's a ceremonial helmet, or a helmet that was part of a ceremonial costume. And I've had two different versions of it. It's either for a wedding or something like that when the bloke was married, or more likely for when he was buried. You know, like when the Queen died, the crown was put on the coffin.
Yeah.
That would have been put on the coffin.
So why has that ended up there?
I don't know why it's up there, but that is the case with a number of churches. They've usually got the helmet and one single gauntlet. We don't have the gauntlet, and there's no evidence that there ever was a gauntlet. But that's the normal way, and presumably the helmet and the gauntlet was put on the coffin lid. But why they put up that high, I can only assume it's so they don't get pinched.
And that St James I was patron for 4 years.
Yeah.
So that's St Henry was patron from 44 to 45, and then again from 45 to 63, does that
It looks
say?
like 63, doesn't it? Yeah. Which is just about as long as he was around, I think.
Well, there can't be many churches that can claim that. They've had two kings as patrons, can't they?
Two sitting kings, if you like.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would either be one of the two then for Henry VIII. Either he had a woman up this way or he was hunting.
Yeah.
Or hunting women, maybe. Bit the best of both, wouldn't you?
I'll use that one in future, if you don't mind.
So where's that lovely little door lead to?
That's the vestry. A couple of memorial slabs in here as well. There's memorial slabs all over the place. Nobody famous.
So again, they would have had to pay for that, would they?
I would have thought so, yeah. There's another one there, but it's got furniture over it.
You wouldn't get caught in here with the bats above you, would you?
Hopefully not bats, no, but we do have visiting bees. They nest in the corner there. Well, we've got a chap who holds the VC, or did.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, yeah. Is that the one on the other side?
No, it's outside the wall. It's outside by the seat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll catch that later.
And what happened was his regiment, he was a private, and his regiment, I think if I remember correctly, his regiment went behind enemy lines in the Boar War, the second Boar War.
Yeah.
Went behind enemy lines to recover some of their hardware so it didn't fall into the hands of the enemy.
Right.
And the whole platoon was awarded the VC. But the leader, the captain...
Was that posthumously?
Yes.
Yes.
No, it wasn't posthumously. It wasn't posthumously. The way it works is the leader of the platoon, the captain, I think he was a captain, isn't awarded the VC because it's only one VC, and they award it to one of the lowest ranked officers, one of the lowest ranked soldiers.
Right.
And he was the one who was awarded it. And and there's a plaque outside him in his memory. He's buried in the military graveyard in Enfield. I think it was Enfield.
Okay.
He's not buried here. He was born here.
Right. Yeah.
But then he went to fight in the Boar War. I don't think, from memory, he wasn't killed, and he survived. But he's buried in the military grave in I think it was Enfield.
Right.
Yeah, very interesting story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know that bit about it's awarded to one of the lower ranks.
No, I've never heard that one either.
No, not until I researched it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's incredible what you can dig up, isn't it?
oh crikey! You can look him up on the internet and find more detail.